Hey, hey, hey! I'm gonna only be up here a little brief. Like Fruit of the Looms, baby, like Fruit of the Looms. I'm gonna be here briefly. First of all, make sure you share this video because this is Numerovation 101, basic and brief about names. Yes, basic and brief about names and why it is so important to choose a good name. But I like what Brother Blue Pill said earlier on his Instagram feed that you have to really look at the name that your mama chose for you and why it was chosen for you. All of the names, actually, all of the names, whether you have a first, last, or middle name, whatever name you chose, but there's particularly the active name. The active name, middle name, and the last name all has its significant meaning. So yeah, I got my little writing board while I'm out here in Florida, thanks to a good friend of mine. I didn't know they had a writing board. So what is very important to understand that each letter in numbers has a mathematical connection. Each letter has a number connected to it. If you study in the Pythagorean system, the number system is straightforward. One is for A, two is for B, C is for three, and so on, all the way to 26. But remember, in the Pythagorean system, they also reduce when it starts to doubling of the numbers, they reduce the numbers. So when it reaches to 10, then it becomes one again. It reaches to 11, becomes two. So paying attention to the vibration of each letter in a person's name is so important. In certain systems of numerology, you can read the name and the consonant and the vowels, and you'll get a lot of meanings. Certain forms of numerology, you could read just the consonants and get a meaning and what it means. And in certain forms of numerology, you can read the vowels and then get a meaning. So the name is a very important thing. And even the names that you choose, that you call your spiritual name or your religious name, has a significant meaning and it may have a unifying connection to your birthday, or it might not have a unifying connection to your birthday. So you got to be very careful on the names that you choose. For instance, and I want y'all to share this video because it's a brief and basic breakdown about names and why names are important because most of us, if not all of us that are watching this, has a name. And sometimes we're at our jobs and people are calling us by our names. People are calling us by our names at school. People are calling us by our name and in the gym or on the street. And whatever name that you resonate, because the name has a tone and there's a vibration connected to the name. Remember, each letter, once like I said, has a vibration and also has a meaning. Now, we're not going to get that deep into that, but when you do a numerovational session with me, I usually like to break down the numbers of the name and what it means to you because I'm here to motivate you with your name and your birthday. That's why I do numerovation. Like I said, that means motivating you with your numbers, but it's motivating with the numbers connected to your name and your birthday. So in your name, you'll find soul urge, you'll find destiny numbers, you'll find essence numbers, and different numerologists might call it different names. That's why I don't get caught up in what they call it and what it is. Just know that the vowels represents the inner you, the deeper soul you, and the consonants represents the outer you, the outer representation of you, and the destiny represents a part of you that is destined to do something, whether it's positive or negative, whether you accept your challenge or not. And some people in certain numerologists might call your full name or your breakdown of your name a life path number. Hey, tomato, tomato. It is what it is. In certain parts of your birthday, they have the destiny number. You have what some people might call the life path number, a destiny number, or and personal numbers or personality numbers. You just gotta. That's why I tell people, don't get caught up in the names. Just know where they're placed, and if you see a certain pattern of it keep on showing up in your birthday or in your name, especially in your name, because I look at the patterns of the amount of times that either a challenge number shows up or either one or your high power numbers show up. I really look very carefully. And my charts, when I read them, I make sure I color code them so I'll know which one I'm looking at. So in my charts, I might have the orange might represents a neutral number. The red might represent a challenge number. The yellow might represent the high powered number, or it could be green or lavender, whatever. But a name is so important. Take, for instance, myself. My name added up to the number 6. When I did the numerology of my name, my name on my birth certificate, my first name on my birth certificate, Simon is one of my middle names. Simon is one of my names, Anthony and all that. But the birth certificate of my of on my birth certificate, the name added up to a 6. And usually, people like Lloyd Strayhorn, very good. I always tell people buy Lloyd Strayhorn's book, and this is his book right here, Numbers and You. Very good book to have in your library by Lloyd Strayhorn, one of my teachers. And of course, don't forget have my book in your library. Numbers are simple, people are complicated by King Simon. Also, in the back of the book, I got recommended reading, very important. And also, this is a very good book to have in your collection. Also, this one is called Numerology by Hans DeColes with Tommy Monte. Keys to Your Inner Self. Numerology, complete guide to understanding and using your numbers of destiny. Everybody likes to say complete. That's what I don't like. I I don't I don't like when people say this is the complete guide because numerology is constant. More stuff is always coming out because numbers are limitless. This is a thin ass book. This ain't that thick. It's written in 1994. It's not a thick book. So it can't have the complete guide to understanding or using your numbers of destiny. It can't be complete. If it was that complete, the universe is a book. So and it's endless out there. So understand that if anything is mathematically connected, the universe is mathematically connected, the earth has a mathematical connection in some form or fashion. There is a mathematical coding from the macrocosmic to the microcosmic, keeping it simple, not getting all esoteric and crazy with it. I want to keep it simple. So, like I was saying with my name, it added up to a number 6, not the letters, but when I did the breakdown of the name, it added up to a number 6, which is interesting. And in one system of numerology, but in another system of numerology, my names added up to a number 7. My two names that I have added up to a number 7. And one of my favorite names that I chose to use also added to a number 7. And 7 happens to be one of my high power, high frequency numbers. But going back to the name, there's a thing that Lloyd used to do back in the day where he was able to tell your mother and your father's either birthday or knew they was born under a certain number or a certain sign because of the name. So what's so interesting is that my first name adds up to a number 6. Key point 6. But my father and my mother are under the sign of Libra. One is Libra and one is Taurus. And in the science of the study of numerology, Taurus and Libra is a sign that resonate with the number 6 in numerology. So I found that quite interesting. And when I started studying my cousins and the patterns with my cousins and my grandparents and all that, I found that all the numbers correlated with the children that they had. My grandfather's number, my grandmother's number was correlating with the children that they had, whether they had 3 children or they had 2 children. It always correlated with the numbers connected to their name or their birthday or their sign. So it's very important that we study these things. And those that are watching me, let's take, for instance, why would I choose a lead name like King? King is spelled, of course, K, this pen better be right. Okay, good. So here we have king, right? So what I'm going to do is just write it out myself. Write out the letters. I'm going to write out the numbers to each one of them. So, and then I'm going to put it on the board for you. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, good. So, as you see here, in the Pythagorean system, king, this is king. In the Chaldean system, this is king, as far as numerically speaking. Numerically speaking, that is the name king. Why would King Simon choose the word name king? I could have said prince, I could have said lord, I could have said anything. Let's add it all up, shall we? Well, so answers is 8, 9, 10, 11. Great. And in this one, that is, it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Good. Boom. Interesting enough, why would King Simon choose the word king to add to his name? Interesting is that in the Chaldean system, king adds up to the master number 11, which is the revealer of things. It's the revelatory number. It's the one that the 11 represents that master number, and the lower octave is 2. The 2 represents compassion, the need to see people come together. So that 11, because I come up with so much ideals to do different things as far as lectures and productions and all that kind of stuff, and I've been doing it for so many years, the master number 11 resonates with me very strongly because I dream of ideals. I think about it. I daydream. I night dream about ideals. And then I write it down because people that have that 11 connection to their name, they're supposed to write their ideals down and put them to work. And that's in the Chaldean system, which is a much older system. I just want to put C over here so we'll know that's a Chaldean and that's the Pythagorean. But in the Pythagorean system, my name adds up to the 23. When you add 2 plus 9 plus 5 plus 7 equals 23, and 5 is the number of promotion, expansion, and growth. And those who know me know I've been promoting since I was 12 years old. So why did I choose king? Because it also resonates with a number that also resides with what I've been doing most of my life. And I didn't even choose this word king or this name or this title king until later on in my life. Way past. I didn't choose it until around in my 30s. But I've been doing promotion. And like I said, this adds up to 23. You might get be able to see that right now. But 23 is the promotional number that it adds up to. It adds up to the number 5, which is a promotional number. So once I learned the mathematics for it and that it resonated with me in what I've done, because your name reveals your skills, your talents, and your gifts. I have a gift of insight, which deals with the number 11. I have the sensitivity of the number 11 also, which is the lower octave of the 2. And I have the gift of promoting and getting people together through promoting from parties, from conscious stuff. For many years, I've been doing this. So the 23, which is in the Pythagorean system, also rules. So both of them work really good. It's a real good name for me, King and then Simon. So understand that it's very important that we learn to understand why we choose the name that we chose, why the name is very important, why your name is very important. But understand the name that your mama chose. What's so interesting, let me erase this. Let me erase this. I want to show you my middle name because that is one of the names that I really like, and that's a middle name that my mommy and dad name. And actually, that's my father's middle name also. My middle name is Anthony, right? And when you do the numerology of Anthony, make sure we got this right. Anthony, let's see. 1, 1, 5, 5, 2, 4, that's 8, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 5, that's 5, that's 7, and that's 1. In the Pythagorean system, Chaldean system. So when you add this up, that's, that's 10, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 is Anthony in the Pythagorean system. In the Chaldean system, that's 10, let me see, that's 10, 15, 20, 27, 28. Okay, that's 28, which is a 10, which is, okay, great. Now, let's look at the name Anthony. In the Pythagorean system, the name Anthony, which is my middle name, that's my middle name. And in numerology, the first name is called, let me take a little back step. The first name is called the the active name. That is the name that you're called by. That's the name that you're known for. That's the name that you're known by in your family. The middle name is called the bridge name. That's what bridges you over into your last name, but it also gives a bridge frequency or vibration that you should be able to resonate or use when you need to use it. That's what the bridge is all about, crossing over. What is a bridge? It's something to cross over. So my middle name is Anthony, right? My middle name is Anthony. In the Pythagorean system, it adds up to a number 7. In the Chaldean system, it adds up to a 28, which turns into a 10, which is a 1. Very interesting. Now, what did I say? I said this is the name. Anthony is my father's middle name also. My father is born September the 25th. 2 and 5 is 7. 3 and 4 equals 7. So that name actually connects to my father. And he had that middle name Anthony way before I was born. But because I'm born February 1st in the Chaldean system, which is a more old and mystical system, it adds up to a 28, which is a 10, which is a 1, and I'm born February 1st. So you see how this all works out and how these numbers connect to you in some form or fashion. I'm born February 1st. In the Chaldean system, it adds up to a number 1. And my father, that's my father's middle name. I share my father's middle name, and he's born 9/25, 25, and 2 and 5 equals 7, and 7, 34, 3 plus 4 equals 7 also. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make it up, family. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It can't be made up. I'm just showing you how the numbers can work for you. And that's why you don't just throw out your parents' name, the one that your mom or your dad gave you, because they gave it to you for some type of vibrational reason, although they might not recognize it. They may never have studied it, but understanding the numbers in your name can be very helpful. So I like what Blue Pill did on his Instagram live earlier today. And yes, you can go into gematria and all that kind of stuff. You have to have the gematria calculation and all that. But this is the simple form of numerology, especially the Pythagorean system. And then the Chaldean system is a little bit more complex because it goes to 1 to 8, and the Pythagorean system goes to 1 to 9. But understand that the Chaldean understood why the 9 was. The 9 was considered a sacred number amongst our ancestors before the Greeks took and exposed the 9 when it wasn't supposed to be exposed according to the Chaldean. But Pythagorean decided to expose the number 9 in his breakdown of the numbers that he went and studied amongst the people of Hugh and then brought it back to his people, which is totally understandable. But also recognize that each letter can transpose to any number in a number, and each letter also has a meaning, especially at the position that it is, like the first letter, the A, the N represent. And like I said earlier, there's certain systems of numerology where you can read the vowel, and the consonant and get a meaning for that person. In other words, if I see the A and the N in both systems, it adds up to a number 1. 1 plus 5 equals 6. That tells me the person that has the name Anthony loved their family. That's the beginning of the name, because the consonant and the vowel adds up to the number 6. And it tells me that that person loved their family. They have a family connection. They really needed to also heal from their family and all the stuff that's been going on in their family. They're always trying to put things together in peace. And remember, Anthony is my bridge name, and that's what I do in a certain sense when it comes to the family. I keep in contact with my family. I keep in contact with my mother's side and my father's side, even though they don't talk to each other as much as they used to. They're very cordial when they meet, but I'm the one that's on both sides of the family. But just by studying that vowel and the consonant, the first vowel and the first consonant of my name or my middle name tells me exactly what I came to do or what I am destined to do in some form or fashion is to bring balance, because 6 represents the number of balance and understanding. So it is what it is, family. Like I said, I wasn't going to be here too long, but if you want to do a numerovation session, I do text me your full name and date of birth. I do consultations. I don't do readings. I am breaking down how the numbers can help you. I can show you how it has helped me throughout the years, from my first name to my middle name to my last name. But I'm telling you, I can help you also give you some guidance and show you a certain way, a way that you need to recognize, even for your children. Sometimes people want to do sessions for the children. I always tell people, look, I'll touch on your children. I'll touch on your children's name, or more likely your children's birthday, if you're doing a whole hour session. If you're doing a whole hour session, if you pay for an hour session, I'll definitely touch on at least 1 or 2 of your children. Don't give me a whole 7. If you got 7 children, please don't do that to me. Let's focus on the oldest ones as much as possible, or the ones that are older. I'll go at least up to 4. I'll give the breakdown of at least 4. But if you got 7 and 10 children and you try to get a breakdown of all of them, don't play with me. Let's start, because that's a whole hour in itself. After I do your session and then try to do your children's session, that's great. But I do give children's session for free if you do a whole hour with me. So it's best to text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. So we can set up a session. Also, I go through the years that you're going in the cycle, because remember, numerology or numerovation reveals the cycles and seasons. So I give you a motivating energy and vibes of what you need to do in the next cycle, next season, or this cycle and this season. That's how I work, because like I say, I do numerovation for the nation, baby. And numerovation only means motivating you with your numbers that are connected to you. Go to the Urban Dictionary and like up that numerovation. Numerovation, Numerovation. That is the name of the game, baby. Numerovation. Numerovate yourself, my friend. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. I wasn't going to stay on that long. Remember, please get my book. Numbers are simple. People are complicated. Also, my children's books is Numbers Are Simple. Our children's health is important. Make sure you pick up one of my teacher's books, Lloyd Strayhorn. Very good book to have. Lloyd Strayhorn is a very good book to have. Numbers and You. You could also do a session with him if you want. That's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. And a book that I just finished showing by Hans DeColes and Tom Monte. This one is called A Complete Guide to Understanding and Using Your Numbers of Destiny, Key to Your Inner Self. Good book. Just got it. And gives you the basic, breaks down certain things also. I give it to you from all angles because I want you to study it from all angles. Don't settle for one thing. Always know that we are multidimensional, so we should study multiple things. But whatever you're best at, then you run to it and make it happen. Because that's what I do with your numbers connected to your birthday and your name, to show you what you're really connected to. Whether you run from it or not, that's totally up to you. Whether you run from it or not is totally up to you. Stop running. Stop running. And like Bob Marley said, you're running and you're running and you're running away, but you can't run away from yourself. I can never run away from my name, Anthony, that my mama gave me or my father gave me. I can't run away from none of the names that they gave me, because each one of those names has a resonant energy that connects to either me or my birthday and what I need to do in this realm and how I need to do it in this realm. Whether I accept the mission or not, it's still going to be there. Family, I am out of here. I want to thank you. I think my comment section has been shut down. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, press 1. If you can hear me, press 1. Also, if you want anything, if you want to send a Cash App, if you want to pay through Cash App, if you want to pay through PayPal, please go into description bar below, and you'll be able to see anything that you want at my websites and all that stuff about merch, products, events that I got coming up. I also got online classes come up. So if my if my I don't know if the chat is on. Let me see. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay, but well, thank y'all all the time. Thank y'all for showing love. I don't see anybody popping up, so it is what it is. Nobody's asking no questions, so I think my live chat has been shut off. Let me check. Let me check. Yeah. I think where's my participants? Do I have participants? Let me see. I don't have any participants, family. So I don't see any participants. Nobody said press. Nobody haven't pressed one, or maybe, like I said, my live chat must be off. I'm going to have to check that because I think we had to change the status of the YouTube channel. We had to change the status, but it is what it is. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Please share this, press like, and get your numerovation session when you can. No rush. 347 496 1022. Text your full name and date of birth. Do not call. Text your full name and date of birth, and I will send you the pertinent information that you need that can help you to get your session done. It's a consultation session. Usually I do it for half an hour to an hour, but you get a lot of information. All my sessions are recorded, and all of them are sent to you so you can listen to it over and over and over again. I guarantee that you will get something out of it when you listen to it over and over again, because numbers help to confirm a lot of things that you've been thinking about doing, that you want to do, but it confirms and reconfirms what you're doing, because all of us have psychic or intuitive abilities. And sometimes we second guess our thoughts. We run away from what we want to do. If I would have ran away from the microphone back in the day, I would never have gotten on stage in front of 5,000 people, 30,000 people at Randall's Island. I wouldn't have gotten on stage in front of 12,000 people at Forest Hill Stadium back in the day if I ran away from the microphone, of which I like to do. Microphone. That's what's so important. Even the words, even words, not just name, words and names have resonant energy that can say if you're connected to it or you're not. Health, diseases, all of that. If you're connected to it, if you're not, if you're more prone to catch it or you're not, if you're more prone to catch a stomach ailment or you're not. In my sessions, I run down the possible numbers that are the numbers, the patterns of numbers that constantly show up in your name and your birthday, and show you what you have to look out for in your health. So I do those type of segments also. So have a great day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're watching me, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth. Don't forget, this Wednesday, I have Professor James Smalls. He was the consultant for the movie. It wasn't a documentary, the movie Bumpy Johnson, the Godfather of Harlem, but also he's been on Hidden Colors. He's been a professor and a student of Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark. He'll be here on Wednesday, the 9th. So I'll make sure I have his Cash App up and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to see if people can call in and talk to him. We'll see if we can make that happen. All right. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Love and respect you all. And I'm sorry about the chat. I think the chat was, I think the chat has been, let me see if I can put something. Let me put my number on 347 496 1022. I think the chat has been, okay, chat is disabled for this live. That's what they're saying. So I try to put my own chat and it's been disabled. So I got to check what's going on with my chat. Okay. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening, and we'll talk later. Peace.